What's up guys, Steve again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. There's heaps of cool stuff just like this, and this is a new one from AGORA Models, the Jaguar E-Type 1961. So 60-year anniversary, and they have just released this kit. It's a 1/8 scale, it's huge, it's 55 centimeters in length or 22 inches. Width is 21 centimeters or 8 inches, and it's got about approximately 500 parts, but this is their first stage. What's cool about this, it's got functioning headlights and tail lights. The windows go up and down by turning the actual handles. It also has a real engine sound when the accelerator pedal is pushed, stop lights go. When the brakes pedal is pushed, steering wheel operates the wheels. High quality finish and actual red paint. It's got tan interior, replica leather bucket seats. Also optional luggage rack that sits on the boot and wire spoke wheels. Okay, let's just go through it, get a nice little dust rag there. So this part I'll be doing basically the motor. Look at some of the parts here, quick detail before we get through it. Check out that, sweet. That looks awesome. Camshafts there, beautiful steering wheel. The fit and finish on these kits are amazing. I've done the, well, I'm still doing the tank and the Zero, so having fun doing those as well. But wanted to just have a look at this one, get on this quickly. Tiny little Phillips head, yeah, block itself, more parts here, obviously more front belts there, timing chain or timing belt. I think this will be a really popular kit because the Jaguar E-Type is such an iconic car, it's so beautiful. And obviously with these kits, every AGORA model kit you get a nice poster, tells you a little bit about the car as well, or about the model, whatever you're doing. So there you go there, 1961 to 2021, 60th anniversary. Check out that, beautiful. A lot goes into these kits, amazing when you come to think about it. They use like a laser technology to accurately replicate the real car into model form, but there we go. So I'll get the little camera set up and let's start on step one. Okay, with like any kit, you download an instruction manual and they're really good. They give you a little bit of a description of what you're actually building. So stage one, we're building the assembling the cylinder head and cam covers. So for example, that cylinder head is metal, got plastic cam covers, but the wheel here is like metal. Just check out that detail. How nice is that? So first step here, we're going to be assembling the exhaust cam cover, and then we'll be fixing the inlet camshaft to the cylinder head. So very easy steps, just putting them in there, and that's it. So let's get that sorted. Now if it's your first time seeing one of these kits, you get all the bags obviously of screws, and they are labelled AG02 for example in this instance, and you always get a spare, so that's nice. So this first step is going to be, it's the oil cap. It's going to be screwing it into the head, and that's it. That was that step. So like I said, some of the steps are really easy and they're simple to do. Now the inlet camshaft, which is a pressure fit into the actual cylinder head there itself. Now the exhaust one is exactly the same. Got to line up the holes in here. It's just like a pressure fit. Push it in. There we go there, as you can see. It's a bit proud. Push it down until it's flat. And there we go. Exhaust and inlet camshaft on the cylinder head. Same thing with the inlet cam cover. You just kind of line up these holes like that, and same with the exhaust. Line everything up, push it all on. Simple as that. No glue required for these. It's just a nice pressure fit. Once you line everything up, it kind of goes on really easily. But you can see it's looking great already. Check out that. Last step was just pushing that horn into the steering wheel there, but just check out that detail. So that is stage one complete. Next step, assembling the carburetor. So I'll get pack two, which is all these parts here. Pack two, and let's get started. So we're going to get our manifold here and our throttle linkage, it says. Attaching it just like that with two screws at the bottom underneath here. And then we're getting this small shaft and sliding it through this hole in there. And that's that particular stage done. Now with that shaft, you notice one end will be smooth, one would have the ridges just here, as you can see. Just saying push it enough just so it kind of grips in there so it doesn't spin, and that's it. Now that was stage two all complete, and you might know if this is your first time building these kits, you have parts left over, like these three parts. that's fine. You'll use it later on in the build to just store them away. I normally just use the box they came in. Still on stage 3 now. We're still assembling the carburetor. Now we're getting the other half of the manifold, mating them two together and just screwing them. And that is it for that part. And then we'll be getting, these are called the suction chambers that we used from stage 2, and it's saying they go in here just like that, and you'll be screwing them from the other side. Okay, now you just got to do the same to the other two. And I noticed in the other step I put this on the wrong way, the throttle linkage, so all good. I changed that up and it's all good to go. Like, it's not glued. That's a perfect thing about these being hardware attached. Now next up we're going to be getting it's called the air balancing pipe. This guy right here, and it's just going to be fitting in like that, and at the bottom being attached by 3 AC02 screws. And that's it, really easy. And then we have this other part here. This is called the petrol feed pipe, and I like in this particular instructions they actually tell you what the parts are as well, so that's nice. I like that, because it's interesting, you can learn a little bit about the cars as well. Now basically you can see those little lugs, or those little holes there, they're going to be matching up to these little lugs just there, and one on the end there as well. So it's saying to do 1, 2 and 3, that's it. And then we're going to be getting the air cleaner, and it's just a pressure fit on here. There we go. That was stage 3 done. See, it doesn't take too long, but it's getting there, looking really nice. Stage 4, we're assembling the engine block. This is one half of the engine block, and then basically we need to fit the starter motor and distributor to the engine block. So this is a starter motor, and a lot of these things, or pretty much all of them, are keyed, so you can see there. So it's very hard to get it wrong. Presses in there and screws from the inside of the block. That's also the same with the distributor there, and once that's all on, that's a screw there, screw for the starter motor, and then we'll be getting this whole carburetor assembly and attaching it in those 3 screws there. There we go, stage 4 all done, looking good. Next up we'll be getting the other half of the engine block just here, and then we'll be getting the battery box and be attaching it into the motor or the engine block just like that with one AG03 screw. There we go, there, all nice installed. And what I like, it's actually a little battery box as well, so we're going to be putting a battery in there later, so that's awesome. And then we moved on to the last step for the assembling the engine block, it says here, and that's the filter head and hose, which is this part that we used from stage 4. Secure that, and that is it. Move on to step 6, and that is actually assembling the fan belt and electrics. So I'll open this bag up. We'll get to that step. So you've got your ignition coil, got 2 parts, and then you've got your ignition lead. So you've got to put your ignition lead in first, and then sandwich it away with the other side, just like that, and then knock it off with a screw at the other side. There's it installed to the cylinder head, and also you have a little engine breather just here as well, and they're attached underneath there with the 2 little screws. That's that step done. Looks good. Next up we're got to assemble the fan belt and pulleys. So basically it's all keyed just like that, and we'll be putting it in to the housing just there. So line up all the holes and we'll be good to go. There we go, it's secured on the housing on the other side, and then we have our dynamo, and it's also secured there with a screw. And then we have our dynamo end cap just there. Now it's keyed, line up the key marks, and it should be good to go. There we go, pressure fit on there. So we've got the large pulley here, and then we're attaching it to the fan belt just underneath there, and that's what you're left with. So there was a little hole here, then you just screw an AG05 screw in there into the remaining hole of this whole timing cover, but that's it. Like I said, nicely detailed, and that part is done. Now moving up to stage 7, which is assembling the exhaust and ignition system. Okay, exhaust was really easy. Went back and got one of the other sides of the block, attached it with 2 AG03 screws, simple as that. Now we need to close it up soon, so you need to be routing this wire into this little recess just down there, super simple. And then we'll be getting, this is a fun part, getting the cylinder head and attaching it to the block itself just here with 2 AG03 screws as well. Next up we'll be getting the pulley assembly and just hitting it at the front there, attaching it like that. And we've got to be getting the other side of the block now, so we're going to be making sure that that wire is in the little recess when we close it all up, like that, out of the way. And then we'll be getting the other side of the block, putting it all together and attaching it with 3 AG3 screws, 1, 2 and 3. Next up we're going to be attaching the ignition lead and plug leads into the top of the block here, and that's pretty much just a press fit. Just make sure it's in the same order, so you got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lined up with those holes up there. That's all it is. So just push them in for nice little tweezers. There we go there. Now you got to plug it all into the distributor there. You kind of start with your ignition lead, then get all the other ones and just kind of plug it all in. A little bit time consuming, but it'll get there. Just kind of, you can manipulate this into so it kind of sits a little bit better, but that's that particular step. One more part to do, and it's the rev counter generator to the exhaust cam cover. Now it's the smallest part, it's so tiny, it's in there, it's going to sit just up there, and there we go. Stage 7 is complete, and that is it for the first pack. Can't wait for the next one. If you liked it, links are in the description where to go buy it. But what do you guys think? I think it looks amazing, it looks beautiful, fantastic detail. Gotta love the Jaguar E-type. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you haven't, please subscribe, and if you like it, give it a good old thumbs up. See you in the next one.